I hope to God I don't need to fucking disappear for a crap tonight.
Can you say that again, sorry?
I says, I hope to God I don't need to disappear for a crap tonight. Fuck off.
Good evening, and welcome to another edition of the SoulOhm Series Live. Tonight's special topics. We've got Ian Fleming, which has been censored with the James Bond books. Mr. BFG will be talking about that. Have you watched a Korean horror film? Betty's going to be talking all about that. And did you ever see Bohemian Rhapsody, the film, starring the legendary, all that to come. Plus, we've got the JG Johnny's Juice giveaway as well.
Starring the legendary, who? What?
I went, ooh. I'll talk about it in a bit.
Indeed. And not only all that exciting stuff, but tonight, the giveaway is bigger.
Oh,
better. Yes.
Yes.
Bigger. Huge thanks to Johnny's Juice. We can now proudly announce it is open to those watchers from stateside and Europe.
Welcome.
So good evening.
Yeah, and also tonight's show is also sponsored by Bisto, because it means I don't need to run away quick.
Seasons and thickens, indeed. And for everybody that commented on my quiff, you're all naughty, and I want you to sit on the step and think about what you've done. Yes.
Yeah, it's really good news about Johnny's Juice. Want to give Project Vapes a big shout out and say thank you as well. So not only is it just UK like it was originally, it's open to the European countries and also USA as well, which I think is absolutely fantastic. T's and C's applies.
Yep.
Yeah, get that in straight away.
Yeah, even last week I couldn't hold that in. I was running down the stairs looking for bicycle clips before I made it to the toilet. Then I opened the door and I got fucking... I basically got attacked by 8 dogs and tried to kick 8 dogs out the way to get to the toilet. It was horrendous.
Puppy shrapnel everywhere.
I was nearly using one because I couldn't find the loo paper.
Haven't you noticed Betty's new chair? It's actually a commode.
On wheels.
Stop it.
It's next week's sponsor, Help the Aged. Cheeky fuckers.
Yeah, like
it's a case of mock the afflicted, why don't you?
Wouldn't dream of it, darling.
I'm lucky. Toilet's only just round corner from me, so I'm lucky.
Oh, mine's just downstairs, isn't it? Oh, hold on a minute. 2 seconds.
Now I'm scared. See
Don't
what you
forget to
lot have
flush.
started now. Evening, Becky.
Hello. You all right then, Steve?
Bloody marvellous, mate.
Yeah.
Bloody marvellous.
Yeah. Had a good week?
Yeah, it's been eventful, but, yeah.
Well, we haven't had much snow, have we, around here? I was expecting, a lot of it, but we haven't. We've had more rain than snow.
As per, isn't it?
I forgot we had this.
A porta potty!
So, on that note, BFG, would you like to say hello to the wonderful people that are our chat?
I certainly would. And welcome, OG Fishing.
Fist bump.
It's great seeing some new names in there. So
before you go any further, before you say hello to everybody, for the people that are new here, the first about 15 minutes we talk rubbish, and then we give loads of hugs and fist bumps to everybody in chat. So, just in case.
And then we talk rubbish again.
And then we talk rubbish for the next hour and a bit.
That's how it goes.
That's it.
Right. Black Country Vapor and Jasper, good evening. Ben M, good evening, and I hope you're thoroughly enjoying your prize from the previous giveaway. Bill Richards, I'm not working out how getting your eyes zapped is going to keep you quiet, Bill, but I hope it goes all right, mate. And big huggles. Huggles. Dawn W, good evening. And huggles. Hello. Faxi M's 82, good evening.
I thought there was a Spitfire coming down.
Free Rider Vapor, good evening, sir. John Vaping Joker, how you doing, dude? Kevin Smith, good evening, sir. Mark H, EVL, I hope you've had a good day behind the counter, mate. Mr. B,
Mr. B.
dude.
Hey, Michael.
No, the lazy satyr.
No.
Huggles. OG Fishing 71. I know we've already said good evening, but
Fist
hello
bump
again.
again.
Thank you for joining us. Vapor Bunny. Hello.
Hello.
Huggles. Huggles. Vapor Queen Becky. Good evening. And Huggles. And William Dobson, last but by no means least on my participants list, and I know somebody just slipped in my back door because it went longer. Michael Meek, good evening, dude. And let's make sure I've not missed anybody else out. I'm hoping Pasty's in there somewhere.
Kaz.
Did I miss Kaz out
You
again?
missed Kaz.
Sorry, Kaz. I do apologise. Vaping Pasty, I know you're with us in spirit if you're not actually sat there. So good evening. There you are, darling. Huggles. And Snowman.
Snowman. Fist bump.
Paul, how you doing? And right, so if you missed the start of the show, just to remind you, thanks to Johnny's Juice, we can now open the giveaway to our friends stateside and also in Europe. So,
Liz,
part those curtains. Hello. Soap. Sorry, he's thrown me now. So, as I was saying, we are now open stateside. We are now open in the European countries. So if you couldn't enter before, feel free.
you can now.
Indeed, you can.
T's and C's applies.
T's and C's applies. 37 bottles of 10 ml, pre-mixed 3 milligram of every single flavour that Johnny's Juice offer, and it's good.
Yes, and we've already had 2 winners so far, and I'm sure they'll be able to put in chat what they think.
No doubt with blisters from the heat of the package, from the speed it did arrive.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, I have nearly destroyed the whole lot of foreplay. It's banana and strawberry.
I normally destroy it before play as well.
Yeah.
Mr. B, behave. John Paul, good evening, dude. Right.
PP.
Jacob. There we are. Craig Brown, good evening.
Fist bump. Good evening to you, sir.
Foreplay's one of my... That's what she said, OG.
I honestly, I really do like this. Foreplay's really nice. I've got some raspberry custard to try, and I've got some strawberry custard as well. And I've nearly finished off my nut house as well.
I'd go with the raspberry, definitely. Mr. B, play nice.
Well, Johnny thinks it's super. Thumbs up.
Excellent. I'm glad you enjoyed it, John. John was our first winner of the giveaway.
He was, yeah. And Mr. OG Fishing using... What did he say? Can you read that one for us, Betty?
No, I fucking can't because I don't have my reading glasses with me, you cheeky fucker.
Cinnamon donut, salts, and hooch at the moment. Want to ask what foreplay tastes of, but scared of the answers from you guys. Kay, you should know us better than that.
It'd be a little bit salty, fishy.
Stop it. A proper answer, please.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of the donuts and a couple of the custards, and honestly, they're great. The custards, look, what I do like about them as well, they're not too sweet. They're not overly sweet e-liquids, which I'm impressed. So, don't kill your coils.
No. Drunken Monkey, good evening, Chad. Good to see you, dude.
Monkey, like it.
Cherry donuts, the fave so far from Ben M.
Ooh, I haven't tried the cherry donut.
I'm looking forward to. I've saved that for the weekend.
Which type of cherry is it? Is it a dark cherry or is it like a cocktail cherry? Glacé.
A glacé cherry.
I've not
Or a
tried
maraschino
one.
cherry.
Glacé.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Oh.
Glacé. It's not posh.
Yeah, lemon donut. I do like the lemon donut. I like the lemon and lime custard as well. That's nice.
Ultimate Puff is smashing the hell out of my course.
That's the only problem with sweet liquids.
It is. Do you remember that stuff we got at Expo? Well, I got at Expo, Alien Piss.
I think the worst ones that I've ever had are the Fantasy. The Malaysian, there's two versions of Fantasy. It was the Malaysian Fantasy ones. God,
this
they
alien,
really did kill your coils.
That Alien Piss, I never found it anywhere else apart from Expo, but it was an American juice. But my God, it was sweet. You know, you sniffed the top and you could feel diabetes creeping in. You know, it was incredibly sweet.
Is that back to foreplay again?
No, that's the Alien Piss.
Oh.
Stop it.
So yeah, they are not really. I'm well impressed with them.
Ultimate Puff is just sugar in a bottle, mate. There you go. OG, a user of Johnny's, and coils go on to forever with Johnny. That's one thing I have noticed. It doesn't gunk up.
Nope. I've had no problem with it. That's why I said that they're just not overly sweet. E-liquids, and yeah, I mean, brilliant.
Oh. While Ben M's here, Ben, I'm going to go and get a price for postage for you tomorrow, and I'll message you tomorrow, mate, because I've actually just taken that shelf off the wall today.
Yeah, Ben, that's probably the best description you could have given. I'm rubbish at picking out flavours, but it's a very nice cherry.
Can't say fairer than that. I've got it in some samples here, so I'll have to try it.
And for those
I'm not
that
normally a big cherry fan, though, to be fair.
It's been a while.
It is. Has been.
What's the weather like in my old town of Doncaster?
Wet. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I didn't think I was going to make the show tonight with the fucking snowfall that we've had up here.
Have you had
wet? I woke up this morning and it's all over the BBC. And it's like, whoa, amber weather warning. Snow up to 40 centimetres. And I look out and the roof tiles are literally just, it looks like somebody's taken Tip-X to edges.
Yeah, that's about it, yeah.
Rest of it's just wet. And it was like all these
The thing is, though, you know what's going to happen, don't you? We'll wake up tomorrow morning ready for work and it'll be completely wiped out.
Especially seeing as I forgot to put the windscreen cover on.
Yeah, but it wasn't even millimetres, but it was fucking thou.
Careful out there, because
apparently on the radio, the news this morning, Wales are getting battered.
I know top end of Sheffield, they've been getting it bad, but they're high up. I mean, I think we're only somewhat daft like where I live here, because I live on a hill. I think we're only 83 meters above sea level here. But where I work, it's only about 3 or 4 meters above sea level.
Which is a good job, seeing as you work at a quarry.
Well, I mean, where the quarry is, it's heading towards Humber, really, isn't it? I'm at Armthorpe.
There we go. Kaz has got ours. We weren't supposed to get snow and have a fair amount.
I don't know. I think we had it was snowing here about an hour and a half ago, something like that, and it lasted for about 10 minutes. I think that's about it. I think it's all gone now.
Tell you
As
what,
you say, no doubt tomorrow morning we'll wake up and be like, oh shit.
it killed me this morning because they're saying, and there's been snow in Scotland. It's like, no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah. See,
That
thing
is
is, though, what makes me chuckle more than anything else, we must be a laughing stock, especially for people in Canada and Switzerland. And this, they've had some snow again, and the whole country's ground to a halt. How much did they have? Oh, about that much.
I feel sorry for the guys in California. I was watching a report. America got really hit by the snow, didn't it? And there was a report from California. Now, California, you expect to see sun-kissed bodies and surfboards. These poor bastards were freezing.
Well, I can't remember. Other year, with
Texas
Texas had got it, didn't they? Texas got it real bad.
I mean, Jesus Christ, give the guys a break. They're driving around in convertibles.
Surf's up, dude. Well, we don't get much. We get fog, don't we?
Oh, geez, just said the same. Same with Texas.
Yeah. Texas. Oh, you won't believe how bad Texas got it.
Well, this is it, though. If you're not used to dealing with it, Gordon Bennett, that must have been
The thing
a
is,
shock.
though, I've said it before, England gets it worse than Scotland.
You get wind and rain.
Yeah, 365 days a year. The only thing it changes is the fucking temperature and the angle that it comes down at.
Oh, what's it like this morning? It's coming down at 45. Oh, we're doomed.
That's how I'm going to hang a Weatherstone out the back.
Oh, there we go. I lived in Utah and they drive like maniacs in it. Yeah, that sounds like psych nurses.
UK Andy, fist bump.
The legend that is Andy.
Andy! I'll break out the snowmobile. I'd love to do that.
But this is the thing. I mean, these guys over in over in the States, Canada, European countries as well, Norway and all that kind of stuff, they're used to it. It only takes the one snowflake to fall in the UK, and we, as you say, we're fucked.
It's
the
because
trains
we
are
can't
off.
predict it.
The trains are off because it's the wrong type of snow. There's queues at the supermarkets because everybody's panic buying bread and bloody milk.
And eggs.
Fucking joke. And then you see people try to go to work early in the morning and the cars are going up the street and it's all like that thick.
Yeah. We just not. That is the problem. I mean, we all take piss out of ourselves for it, but the problem is we can't predict it. You can't budget, for rock salt and things like that, because this year we might get no snow at all. It might be really mild, and then next year we might have a real bad winter. You just can't predict it.
But what they do is they actually say at the start of winter, oh, there's going to be a bad one this year. Every year. We're going to have a bad winter and a good summer. Lying bastards.
Well, we had a good summer last year.
It's supposed to be this. Have you seen the doom mongers for this summer?
Already?
For the UK. Oh, man.
What's happening now?
Oh, we're doomed. It's going to be warm.
Well, it hit 40 degrees for a couple of days, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what they're saying again. It's going to be 40 plus and and it wasn't last year. You get used to it.
Do you know what the thing is, though? It's the same people that fucking moan about it that's too bloody warm that'll fuck off to Spain for 2 weeks in the summer for their holidays.
Yeah.
This is glorious, isn't it? Look.
Oh, it's not as warm as this at home.
Wankers.
They're the same ones that turn around and say, oh, I don't want any of that foreign crap. I want some English.
Not going back to Spain, they all spoke Spanish.
Really? No, honest to God, there's no other race in the world like the English. There really isn't.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Right.
I heard they're on about whereabouts in the country. I don't know. I heard that they're making an indoor holiday place. You know, like Centre Parks had an indoor part, but this is an actual dome that everyone lives inside the dome. So no matter what time of year it is, it's always going to be warm.
Oh, get a grip.
Honestly, it's like a biodome. Holiday homes.
Oh, well, fantastic. So you get the smell of the bairns running around inside as well and everything. No. Jesus Christ. But, well, we've covered snowflakes, so that's Fleming out. What's that?
Well, I've got something to add to that one. We'll save that for the Flemings. Are we going to save that to the last or the first?
Yeah, we can do. Can do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That could be a rant for a long time.
Yeah, Steve, I was actually just about to say that the Biodome Logan's Run, because I watched that the other week there.
What, Logan's Run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Isn't it terrifying though? Because when you think they all died at 30.
Yeah. I'd have been dead over 20 years ago.
To be honest, the way things have gone, I'd have been happier. Oh, bless. Well, what do you want to? Do you want to kick off with Queen or?
You can do, yeah. I don't mind kicking off with Queen. I'll just bring me notes up, because I have wrote notes down, because I'm sad that way.
see, it's professional.
Yeah. Well,
He's getting notes.
He's turning into Trevor McDonald.
I generally was going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to summarise it, because I was more interested in what you guys thought. This Brian May's in talks now for making this sequel from Bohemian Rhapsody, the film. Now, the original film came out in 2018, and it spans the Queen history of the band. It starts off with Smile, and then obviously Freddie Mercury joining, and it goes into detail with Freddie Mercury. Goes all the way through his heyday of orgies and all that kind of stuff. He realises that he's got AIDS and that lot, and then it ends with Live Aid. So that's 1985 it ends. So obviously they'll probably be kicking off after that. Do we really need it?
I don't think so, personally.
We already know what the sad ending's going to be. Because obviously we already know Freddie Mercury tragically passed away. I just don't think there's an actual story there, because all it's going to be is basically the demise of Freddie Mercury's health.
There is a way of doing it. I don't agree with it at all. I think leave it as it is. But what they could do is start with the death of Freddie, and then how the band carried on. I don't think, in answer to your question, is there a story there? I don't think there is.
I don't think there is. Not a story. How the band started and how the band got going, and obviously when Freddie went off and went solo and things like that. Yeah, I get all that lot. I appreciate it. It's nice to, learn how a band started, because it was not completely true what was going off in the film, but the film I thoroughly enjoyed. The characters that played the band, fantastic. Really liked it. But I just think, I've thought about this a lot about Queen. I've always been a Queen fan ever since I was a kid. And ever since Freddie's died, it's almost like Brian May and Roger Taylor won't let it go.
I'd agree.
Because we've had Queen the musical.
But do you kind of think they're feeling insignificant without Freddie?
There is that. But why didn't, instead of keeping this, so like, I appreciate keeping the Freddie Mercury legacy alive. I understand that. But it's almost like every so often they have to put something out as Queen.
They're
Why didn't they
they're-
make a new band?
they're building their pension pot up, aren't they?
Well, the comments in chat are interesting. There's some very clear no's in there from Paul and Kaz. Bunny's Brian May's prize. If you ask me, he just wants another payday. That's
That's
and
kind
that's
of
how it
how it's
feels.
feeling to me. I really do. So, because let's face it, John Deacon has done nothing. You've not heard out from John Deacon since Freddie died. After
he
he did the
specifically
tribute
said,
concert, that were it. He's disappeared. But it seems like every so often, Brian May and Roger Taylor end up doing something with the Queen.
see, that's interesting because Andy's just put Brian may be a twat about badger colour, but as far as Queen are concerned, he didn't seem that way when I met him. And quite possibly that's the perception you get from this, that he is just cashing in. It may be he doesn't feel like that at all. You know, I mean, they always say, well, this is a quote from Terry Pratchett, nobody dies until their name stops going over the clacks line.
Well, yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I understand that side of it, but how much do you need to make a sequel from the original film? The original film, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've seen it God knows how many times. My wife, Jan, she loves it. I thought that the people that played the band, they were ace. I thought that was really good.
It was done. It was done in a way that, you know, it paid homage.
Yeah,
it was
did.
done
It was
very
very
sensitive.
respectful. And especially when, obviously, he had the problems when, so like, the Queen basically split up for a bit. And all the problems that he had with the media and things like that. His love affairs with his first wife. And then, obviously, him finding his future husband and things like that. I thought that were all lovely. How they'd done it was very respectful. And it told a nice story. And I enjoyed it. But we already know what the past was from 1985 up to 1991. We already know, if you followed Queen.
Let me throw a bomb in there. We do. There may be fans out there that don't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Russ has slipped one in there. Have you seen yesterday the film about the Beatles?
Yes, I loved that film.
That was, again, that was a homage without it being the Beatles. That was such a cracking storyline.
Yeah.
To be honest, Queen died with Fred. Probably the best frontman ever. 100%.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree with you.
The ultimate showman. I mean, he was, you know, the very cheeky chappy camp, just didn't care. You know, I mean, I must admit, I never even realised he was gay.
Growing up, I didn't know he was gay.
No.
Because I was more interested in the music. I've always been like that. It's so like, yeah, I'll probably know who all the band members are and that lot, but the personal life, I'm not really interested in.
Now, Brian May, often seen at Chelsea at Patrick Morsell plays. Brian May's really got back into his science again, hasn't he?
He's a doctor, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's also, let's be right, and you two can correct me on this if this isn't factual, he's a guitarist as well.
Oh, God, yeah, of course he is. I mean, blooming heck, he's a good guitarist. There's no getting around it. He's a good songwriter as well. Except for the Everything I Do.
Well, I must admit, Too Much Love Will Kill You. I love that track.
Well, yeah, I mean, the amount of stuff that he wrote for Queen.
There you go, OG. We knew in America right away.
Yeah. Some of them never. I mean, growing up, I mean, when it was sort of like 70s and 80s, we were only kids anyway at the time. And it was sort of like being gay wasn't a thing, were it really?
Yeah.
We just thought it was flamboyant. I mean, come on, we grew up with
David Bowie.
Exactly.
Mind, he was trisexual, wasn't he? try anything.
Yeah.
But I just think there's no content for a second film. 6 years of Freddie's life left, a small stint with Paul Rogers and then Adam Lambert. 100%. I mean, there's a short spell with George Michael. Obviously on the tribute concert, because that was a thing for a while.
But the thing is, though, I mean, would they actually take the film to that point?
Well, they would have to if they're going to include the Adam Lambert stuff.
Oh, fucking hope not.
Exactly. Or is it just going to be up till 1991 when Freddie died?
That's a long time to film with just 6 years. Long time. And what would you fill it with? Would it be just a load of vitriol against the media?
Mm-hmm. It could be the meeting up with what's the name when he did Barcelona and things like that.
Montserrat Caballé.
I suppose you could mix in more flashbacks.
And then you've got the Rio concert, which was probably at the time one of the biggest audiences ever.
Oh God, yeah.
Watching that. Believe it or not, even in that short space of time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right, where is he? Right, right. I've timed you out, Stuart, because I'm fed up of you doing it.
Rocket Man's a good flick too. Rocket Man was a weird one. It was almost...
that really was a weird one.
Yeah, it was a strange one, but...
My computer's crashed, boys.
Are you still visible, mate?
I've lost everything on fucking Google Chrome was just in.
Google Chrome needs a poo as well.
Yep.
Oh, you just look at us, you'd be fine. We'll keep you noticed.
Wing it, dude. Wing it.
I fucking need to now.
No, I do. I'm just... You'll be right.
Everything's bloody frozen.
Well, leave it alone. You'll be fine. You're coming through loud and clear.
Billy Lee, good evening.
Billy Lee, Buggles.
Balls, hope you enjoyed your tea, kid.
You might be back up.
That's a thought. You think Janie's cooking up a 3 would they cast BFG in the role? Is a lip powder? How dare you, sir? How dare you? I'm not flamboyant enough, mate. No. Although Dawn's probably shaking her head and going, yes, he is. Yes, he is. Rocket Man was quite factual.
So the consensus, like everyone seems to be agreeing with us.
I think, Andy, the problem with Rocket Man was it was so...
That was tongue-in-cheek.
West End show. Yeah. It was very difficult working out what was factual, what wasn't. I mean, it was quite drug trippy at times.
Yeah, it was very drug trippy.
Which he needed to be. Let's be right. Elton has not been a choir boy.
Oh, he's been far from a choir boy.
He's the first one to... I mean, have you ever heard the story about the wedding present from Eminem?
Want that 2 rings?
Oh, yes. For certain appendages. There was a lovely story. Eminem was getting so much flack for being homophobic. And somebody asked Elton John about it. And it turns out Marshall Mathers is actually well pally with Elton and his wife. Or husband, whichever term they want to use. And Elton dropped this little gem in that Marshall Mathers had sent him the wedding present, and it turned out it was 2 diamond-encrusted cock rings. So the interviewer asked him tongue-in-cheek, had either of them tried them on? And he just said, oh, God, no, darling, far too jaggy.
So I've got to ask this question. What do you think banned biopic films? I mean, take the classic Doors film. See, I enjoyed that. I mean, how true half of that was.
Yeah, I enjoyed that myself. I think if they stick to the facts, or 90% of the facts, then fine, yeah, fair enough. But when they deviate from it, and it's carte blanche and they do what the hell they like. It pisses the diehard fans off.
100%. I mean,
I'm a big Doors fan. I love the Doors, and I thought I enjoyed it.
so
By
did
all
I, but
accounts, it absolutely screwed Val Kilmer up doing it.
I'm not surprised. If he did anything, if he was a method actor, it would have me. But I mean, this is the thing. If you were a big Doors fan, a Doors fan of our age now, talking about Queen, would have probably popped a million things and said, whoa, that was wrong, that was wrong, that was wrong. Yeah. But because we didn't grow up with the Doors, being a little too young for that.
He was just a little too young. Yeah.
You know, yeah. Vic already put it on his group, Becky. Jim was a complex human. Oh, he's booted.
He's booted. I'll leave it as it is.
It's okay. The dirt about Motley Crue was absolutely brilliant. Not one I've seen.
The Motley Crue? No, I haven't seen that one.
Don't get me wrong. Enjoy some of the tracks of Motley Crue, but there was so much sort of bad boy in the background. It never really interested me.
I was looking for. There was going to be. There was talks about the Jimi Hendrix one, and him out of. What's it called? Outcast. He was going to play him, and I never heard any more of that. That was a couple of years ago.
Jimi Hendrix, a biopic. Yes.
But they did a David Bowie one, didn't they? But they couldn't use any of his music.
No
because they didn't get permission from the Bowie estate.
Now, Adam Stone, good evening, sir, firstly. A Metallica one would be a good one from the start of the band's The Black Album. That would be awesome.
They should do a motion picture of a Roy Orbison. I tell you one thing, if they did a picture of Roy Orbison, you'd be in tears. You would honestly, he had such a bad life. Really, Roy Orbison. He lost his wife and his kids in a blooming fire, in a house fire.
Oh God! Oh, he's back. The man in black is back. Mr. Smith, you'll burn for that one. I bet he's on a shite break again. He must have had syrup of figs.
You're all right there, sir.
Fucking computer pain in the ass.
Joey, good evening.
Joey, fist bump.
Tina Turner was one. That was a cracker.
That really was a good film, the Tina Turner one. I tell you one thing, I've never been a big fan of Tina Turner. I've got to admit, I didn't mind when she did the blues stuff, and that like right at the early age. But I was never a fan, no. But watching that film changed my mind completely about her.
Oh, 100%. Wash your hands.
I tell you one that I thoroughly enjoyed was Dirt, the biopic about Motley Crue.
Andy Summerfield's just been telling us about that. Apparently, it's really good.
Yeah, another one, good. Lady Sings the Blues, the Billie Holiday story.
Oh God, yes, that was a good one. So, are you back up and running on Chrome or?
Oh, fuck knows.
Tupac's film, that was good. Thoroughly enjoyed that. There was a lot about Tupac I didn't know. I'm not a big R&B or hip hop fan, but
I'm not a big Beatles biopic fan because there's been loads of them. But I did enjoy Backbeat.
Never saw that.
It was about Stuart Sutcliffe, the bass player, and how he died in Hamburg. That was really good. That came out, blooming heck. Early 90s.
Drunk, you're not kidding there. Ray was. The one about Ray Charles, the biopic about Ray.
That were a good one.
Oh, that was a corker. Tyler, good evening, dude. I'm too young, born in 92. Right, we'll start talking Nirvana later, just for you, mate.
Yeah.
You should just about remember it.
Now, that would be a good biopic. Nirvana.
Again, we know the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like watching the Titanic, isn't it? You know the bastard sunk. Saying that, I tell you, one of the ones that I thoroughly enjoyed, and it's been back a long time now, was the Elvis one with Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell. Yeah, he was good.
I just had a really sick thought. At least
What
we know
one, eh?
at least we know the Nirvana one's going to end with a bang.
Oh, that was bad.
That was bad.
I enjoyed
I'm
La Bamba
sorry.
as well.
Never saw it.
Richie Valens' story. I
Not
really enjoyed that.
Not my cup of tea at all.
Oh, Richie Valens. You can't beat a bit of Richie Valens on a Sunday morning. Oh, it's lovely.
There we go. Kurt Cobain's estate won't release the rights. I can
Oh,
understand
God,
that.
you can understand it.
George Harrison speaking about Roy Orbison passing away. You could see he was utterly heartbroken. I got the same. I don't know. Obviously, I think everybody's seen it. But Dave Grohl's eulogy at Lemmy's. I cannot watch that now without a tear in my eye. A lot of people wouldn't want the Kurt story. 100%, mate.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Yeah.
I think in the end, I don't think people realised how troubled he was for whatever reason. But I think he was just in it for the music at the start.
I think that's all he ever was in it for.
Yeah.
Was for the music.
Because if you look at the live, there's so many different versions of everything. It always evolved. Yeah. I mean, the MTV Unplugged, for me, that was the classic Nirvana.
I love that one. And do you know something? The acoustic guitar that he had when he was playing that was actually owned by Lead Belly.
Wow.
That was Lead Belly's guitar that he played.
Jesus Christ. Friends in Low Places, 100%, mate. Not just that, but I mean, unfortunately, when you got friends in low places, it tends to pick the scabs off stuff that you'd rather not.
Yeah, I think that would be one that was well left alone. But they say
100%.
that new Elvis Presley one's pretty good. It won quite a few awards, didn't it?
I think that's more to do with Tom Hanks and the actual film.
I haven't seen it, so I couldn't say.
A lot of lashback about the amount of time the Colonel gets on screen. But he was an integral part.
I mean, they're on about now doing Brian Epstein story, aren't they?
Sorry, Steve, I cut you off. What are you going to say about Elvis?
Can't remember.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, dude. I do apologise.
Elvis Presley has now left a bit. Yeah, there's a lot of that wasn't factual either.
Really? Let's see if they're gonna. They're doing an Amy Winehouse film. Oh, I didn't know that.
That's a dangerous topic.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's another tragic story, isn't it?
That's I mean, this is the issue. Are they doing it to tell the story, or are they doing it to up the back catalogue sales with a load of, did she, didn't she, whose fault was it, blah, blah, blah. Because that happened around the time of the death, didn't it? So, Cicero, good evening, dude. Cicero.
Fist bump.
Just the man. This evening, the giveaway is open to stateside. So if you want to enter, dude, 8:30, feel free. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Amy Winehouse film.
I mean, I've seen biopics, sort of like more documentaries on Amy Winehouse. There was one on Prime. And honestly, the stuff that was in that was enough.
Yeah.
But did they not do something along the same lines with Whitney Houston as well?
Yeah, the Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston thing. Yeah.
Jane, Buggles.
Jane! Hope you've eaten. Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is the problem, though. When you get to the more tragic stories, you have to start wondering, is it to tell the tale or is it...
Cash grab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
it
a
is
difficult
that
one.
fine line, isn't it, of telling a story that needs to be told and a cash grab. Because if you're having to make stuff up to make it more flamboyant or more interesting, then it's not a film worth making.
No.
100%.
Really, I mean, I know it's like we're going back to the original topic, which is Bohemian Rhapsody. We already know that there were certain things missed out from the time period that they created and what actually went off. They missed stuff out and they added stuff that, did it really happen or didn't it really happen type of stuff. But overall, I thought it was a good film.
I think some of that, did it really happen, didn't it, was maybe whitewashing some of the less salubrious bits, but it's fair enough. How are you doing for your notes, Steve? Have they long gone, or?
No, I'm back. Well, I'm back up-ish.
Gaily Bops, couldn't agree with you more. Walk the Line was a fantastic film. And have you seen the other version of it, where it's the comedy version of that film? That's good as well. I can't think off the top of my head what it was called, but it was basically a complete rip-off of Walk the Line, but it was a bit more funnier. Well worth watching.
Awesome. So,
who's
Stevie?
next then? Who's going next? Are you going to go next, Betty? Before you?
I'll go next. So, recently, as far as I've been concerned, there's not been a great many horror movies or decent horror movies coming out of Hollywood. So over the last 6 months or so, I've been watching a lot of these Korean horror movies especially on Netflix, and the TV series that's out. And if any of you guys out there who like your zombie movies, horror movies, that kind of stuff, go check out these Korean movies and TV series on Netflix. They're absolutely fantastic. The production values are second to none. I mean, they would give Hollywood a run for their money.
They do.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, the majority of them they're dubbed, obviously, English. Quite a lot of them are just subtitles, but it's a bit strange trying to watch a horror movie or something like that when there's a shitload going on in the screen and you're trying to read what's getting said underneath. You're like, I need to rewind that back. That's the only downside of it. But there's so many.
It kind of puts me off watching them type of films. Yes, I can read, but the problem with me, I end up losing the film because I'm busy reading.
Yeah. I mean that is a downside. Excuse me. As I say, there is a lot of them have actually been dubbed. I mean, one of the ones that I thoroughly enjoyed was The Train to Busan, which was basically a zombie movie set on a train, and then they made a sequel to that, Train to Busan, The Peninsula, which was a follow-up, and apparently they're making another one. I was speaking to Steve earlier on before we came live. There's a TV series called The Kingdom, which is another Korean zombie franchise, and it's kind of like Game of Thrones meets The Walking Dead.
All right.
But it's based in like feudal. Well, I initially thought it was Japanese, to be perfectly honest, when I first saw the trailer for it, and then I went, no, it can't be. And I didn't know it was Korean, but it's like kind of set in the same kind of times like feudal Japan. So it's that kind of thing, but they're absolutely fantastic, really, really good. But there was also a spin-off from Kingdom as well about one of the characters, but again, it's still based around that zombie genre. But there's a load of other stuff because they seem to tap into the kind of manga side of things. But there's a lot of stuff that you would have thought there's no way on earth they could have made this movie years ago. They didn't have that technology there, especially the CGI stuff. But when you're watching these things, you're saying to yourself, I'm sure I've read that in a comic before. But the imagination that some of these people have had to write and basically design these movies from scratch is unbelievable. They are worth a watch, to be perfectly honest.
Well, it's like I mentioned to you, it's not quite a horror, but Old Boy.
Yeah, I've never seen that one, to be honest.
And that is one of my top favourite films. It really is. You can get it in dubbed or obviously subtitled. And that, honestly, is such a genuine film. It's fantastic. The Americans did a remake of it. I think, was it the girl of the dragon tattoo? I think she was in it.
Mm.
You know.
Yes, what's the face?
But oh boy, honestly, if you ever get a chance to watch it. I don't want to tell you anything about it. Go and watch it and come back and thank me.
I don't need to watch that, but as I say, these. I mean, there's a list here. I've got the top. Is it the top 20? According to Rotten Tomatoes, the 22 best Korean horror movies. I'm not going to go through the synopsis of them. Just a quick rundown, to be honest. Number 1 is The Wailing. Suspicion leads to hysteria when rural villagers link a series of brutal murders to the arrivals of a mysterious stranger. Train to Busan, I've already spoke about that. The Host, number 3. Careless American military personnel dump chemicals into the South Korea's river. Heard that before, eh? Sounds a bit, I mean, I'm not getting into the full synopsis, but it sounds a bit like The Crazies-ish. I don't know.
Yeah.
It may be totally bloody different because I see there's a bit of a bloody monster type thing here.
Cicero, you're going to hell for that comment.
Where'd they put?
So, thought I was watching a new Walking Dead series, but it was just a Joe Biden speech.
Careless American military personnel dump chemicals into South Korea's Han River. Several years later, a creature emerges from the tainted waters and sinks its ravenous jaws into the local residents. So it's a creature feature.
Do you think it's what happened in the 80s for America? Because 80s, there was a horror film every week coming out.
Well, Kev's just put 2 or 3 weeks ago, we spoke about the decline of the music industry, which was the old music overtaking the new. Because the Korean stuff is becoming to the fore now, you're starting to see the source of a lot of the remakes.
Oh, God, yeah,
you never realised were remakes.
Yeah. I mean, it started way back in 90s, really, that, didn't it? We saw, like, The Ring, Grudge, all them lot. Because they were all remakes of Korean films.
Yeah.
But the Ring, the original Asian version of The Ring is always superior. That is some of the scary stuff I've seen.
The thing is, as well, I mean, I know I've kind of brought it up as Korean horror movies. I mean, I only brought it up as horror movies, but it's not just the horror movie side of thing, and it's not even just Korea. I mean, there's some great movies coming out of China as well. The sci-fi movies are absolutely amazing. Some of the films that's coming out of India, the big epics that's coming out of India, like fantasy epics, like fucking the special effects, and like that. It's Lord of the Rings set in India. Kind of. I mean, it's one to watch. They are. If you can find some of these movies, they are definitely worth a watch. Granted, you've got to put with some of them with subtitles. But yeah, I mean,
some of the Bollywood stuff is some of the best B-movie footage.
Oh yeah, but it's when you get the zombies all dancing and shit. Do you know what I mean?
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you think here in the UK, I've always said one of the reasons why we'll never be part of Europe is because we're too American. And we live in a very American style-esque world. And most of our media comes from America. Do you think the ideas in America have just run that dry now? It's all been done and we're having to get another country's point of view of horror.
Yeah, but I don't even think it's just another point of view of horror. I think it's a kick up the arse for Hollywood as a whole, because they're scraping the bottom at the barrel for stuff. Whereas this is all, it's like a breath of fresh air. Some of these movies that are coming out for the Far East.
American horror is basically a teen flick.
Yeah, it's a slasher movie.
But that's where the money was.
Yeah, you said a good point. But they still keep on churning out them type of horrors.
There's another bloody Scream coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got onto this Annabelle thing, and they're bringing another one out, and another one out, and another one out of the same bloody story. Now they're bringing the Nun out, and now there's Nun 2.
Coming out soon,
It's like what they did with Saw. I loved the original Saw film. I thought that was really refreshing, completely different film. And then you got Saw 2, which was okay. And then they went into the series and just carried it on. And it's the same film, same story, just different traps. Yeah. It's like, oh, come on. Another one I thought that was so like really, really different was, what's it called? The one where one day a year you can kill...
The Purge.
You can kill someone.
Yeah, Purge.
The Purge.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the first one, what a fantastic film. They turned it into a bloody TV series.
Yeah. I mean, Fee brings up a good point. I enjoy Australian films, always a bit wacky. One of the best I've seen is Bad Boy Bubby.
One of the best I've seen is The Last Indian.
Young Einstein. Yo, serious.
Tank Girl.
Oh, Tango. My God.
Australians really know how to make films.
Well, I mean, what's his face? It did Lord of the Rings. Black Sheep.
Peter Jackson.
Yeah. Peter, Bad Taste. That was an Australian or New Zealand film.
Bad Taste. Brain Dead. Was that
one? Brain Dead.
There's some fantastic stuff coming out of Australia.
I watched one the other week there. It was is it Martin Freeman? Was that right? Is that he was in Lord of the Rings. He was in The Hobbit.
Yes,
I think it was one that he was in. It was set in Australia, but it was like kind of along the kind of lines of an apocalyptic type virus broke out and shit, another kind of zombie type thing, but it was set in Australia, but it was actually quite good.
Mad Max.
Oh, the classic. Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, it's crazy. We sit there here and we pontificate and like, oh, British cinema, it's gone. The days of the old Ealing Studios comedies and all the rest of it.
G's just asked a question. Do we have drive-in theatres in the UK?
Every now and again they do it, especially in the summer, but like up here in Scotland, they try to do it every now and again, but it's hellish trying to watch a movie when your windscreen wipers are going like this.
Yeah.
Plus you've got the midges to think about. I mean, those little buggers don't have teeth, they have chainsaws.
Get your own popcorn, you little bastard.
Yeah, we just don't have the weather for it, do we, really?
No. I mean, I wish we did.
I do.
There's a thing, I don't know who put it up there. I mean, there's a thing, Cineworld's went tits up. I mean, the cinema in the UK now it's dead. But they've only got themselves to blame because they were charging an absolute fucking fortune.
Yeah. They're all about making it... You know, in Doncaster Frenchgate Centre, there's going to be a cinema in there.
That's not a... When you're up against the view...
Yeah, and the other one at the side, near where the library is.
Where you've got easy parking, all the rest of it, you're in, you're out.
Yeah.
Boom. You're done.
Well, the problem is, it's like what Betty said. It's just to the ear.
It is. But View have realised this, to be fair, and there are other cinema chains available. Their tickets are $4.75, $5 a head. So as long as you don't buy any popcorn or any drinks or any chocolate, it's not a bad value day out.
But the thing was, I mean, think about it, go back a few years ago, there was a family afford to go to the movies, there wouldn't be much change out £100.
No.
Oh, God, no.
By the time you went, paid for your tickets, you got your drinks, you got your hot dog, your popcorn, your sweets. It was fucking terrible. Don W ain't saying it.
Especially when you only have to do is wait, 3 months? And you can either buy it on DVD or stream it.
Well, yeah. I mean, we went to see the last Star Wars, didn't we?
Yeah, we went last Star Wars. Oh, yes.
And it cost me as much for the tickets for the four of us as it did for snacks for me and my son. And we didn't go OTT on the snacks before anybody says anything.
No, you
take
can't.
care, mate.
You can't go OTT on snacks.
Oh, God, you're not kidding, Kate. It's fab.
I mean, like, we used to get into like the pick and mix at the side of some of the Cineworlds and places like that. You would think, I could just get a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of the next thing. I mean, you maybe only had that in the bottom of a bag, but when you put it on the scales, it was £6. You're like, you taking the fucking piss?
I wouldn't say it's a remake, Kevin. I'd say it's a British version. Brenda does Bradford, but
Brenda does Bradford. What happened to your B movie though?
yeah, we got ripped off. Yeah, but you got to remember, back in the days of the B movie was what, half an hour, 40 minutes?
Yeah.
And then your main feature was only an hour and a half. If you were lucky, it was an hour tops.
Yeah, but the thing is though, do you know what the B movie is now? All the bloody adverts. You spend 40 minutes watching adverts.
You know the thing I miss? The usherette stood down the front with the tray full of Kiora that tasted of plastic, but you didn't care.
I remember him selling cigarettes.
God, no.
The ashtrays, the little ashtrays in the back of the seat.
Yeah, always overflowing.
Do you remember getting the push-up ice creams?
Yeah.
With usherettes,
I wonder what you're on about that.
You get back to your seat, you get caught, you go straight out the floor, and you bastards.
Yeah, because that was the first rule of the cinema. If you dropped it, it stayed there.
Oh, God,
in the quenchy cups where you get the straw, would it go through the top? Would it fuck?
How did that go? Sorry?
Like that.
Oh, no.
Stop it.
Whenever you talk about cinemas and things like that, it takes me back to when I was a kid. I must have been 6, 7, somewhere around there. And we went on a school trip. And we went to the Gaumont, as it was called then, in Doncaster.
Hey, Mush.
And we went in the afternoon, late afternoon, in wintertime. And it was gorgeous sunshine when we went in. And we watched the fantastic journey with the dog, the cat and the mouse. And then the main feature was Dumbo.
Yep.
We'd watched both of these films. When we came out, there were 4 foot of snow outside.
So when you went in, it was a different season.
It was completely, honestly, we went into the cinema. It was a nice winter sunny day. We come back out, 4 foot of snow.
And on that note, it's time, boys.
It is time. Right, I will sort this section out. What you talk to yourselves. Got that.
Stevie, you naughty boy, brings a smoke-in fix for some stealth vaping in the cinema. I used to go to the Cecil Inn Hall or the Flea Pit and go, that's the other thing. Cinemas just don't have the same character they used to have.
What shall we use for the keyword?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs?
I think we... Yes. So, for tonight's giveaway, the magic word is hot dogs. I used to take whiskey, you bad bugger.
So the last time I did something like that, we went to see Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. A crowd of us went, and I took a half bottle of vodka with me, and I got a Coke. Obviously, and I drank half the Coke, put the vodka into the Coke. But it was those plastic cups. Remember that wax coating in the inside of them, the kind of paper cups you used to get in the cinema. Well, the vodka actually took the wax off the cups. It was fucking disgusting.
Right, just want to mention about the giveaway. The giveaway, Johnny's Juice sample pack. The sample pack contains the complete Johnny's Juice menu in 10ml bottles. I believe there's 37 of them in total, which is an awesome giveaway. Now, we've got some terms and conditions. The competition's open to the UK, Europe and USA. Participants need to join the Johnny's Juice UK and European Facebook group, or for the guys in the USA, it's the Johnny's Juice Junkies 3 Facebook group. And also, if you could like and follow Project Vapes on Facebook and Instagram, that would be fantastic. The winner will be drawn in a second. We'll be doing the roll. And once the winner has been announced, if you could email your name and address to the Home Service Live Show at gmail.com, then I'll pass that on to Project Vapes. While I'm here, I want to give Project Vapes a big shout and say thank you very much.
Definitely. Mark H, I appreciate what you're saying. You've already won, and it wouldn't be fair to go in again. Can do if you want, mate.
You can do, but obviously
you can always piff it.
Yeah, you can always piff it. Yeah. Guys, again, if there's anybody from the stateside, if you want to enter hot dogs, as it's SoulOhm put it into the chat, it'd be absolutely brilliant.
And just a little advice for Chad, it's spelt with a D.
Yeah, hot dogs was last week.
So Chad, get it in quick, mate. Change that B to a
Chad.
D.
Yeah, Kevin, it's astronomical what they're charging to go and see movies these days. I mean, even as you say, going back 6 years ago, it's extortionate.
How much is it in the States to go and see a film?
That's an interesting question. Joey, thank you, mate. Chad, good lad.
Chad, fist bump.
I can't.
Only looking after you.
So, guys, anybody that is stateside, how much is it to go and see a film? I mean, are you talking what, $10 or $5 or? Oh, gee, that's banging. Thanks, mate. I'll tell you what, it's surprising how good it is. It really is, because you sort of.
Sorry, Faxi. No, I can't. That's the rules that they've set.
I mean, one of Johnny Juice's selling points is simple label, great flavour. And you look at it, and over in the UK, you do get the market store vendors that do the black and white labels and things, and you sort of. Last time I went, it was close to $20.
Jeeps.
Blimey.
Shall we roll it?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Wieners.
Well, we left it long enough then. Everybody in. Right, we'll give you a second. Last chance to put hot dogs if you want to win.
Hot dogs, jumping frogs.
Evening, Rasper.
Right, I'm going to roll it. Ooh. BCV has won.
Ooh, well done, Stevie.
Stevie!
Well done.
I tell you what, mate, you're in for a treat. You really are.
Kiddo. So don't forget, send me an email at the Home Service Live Show at gmail.com with your name and address, unless you want to piff it. You can piff it if you want to. It's entirely up to you, but congratulations.
You have on the way to you some classic custards.
Oh, God, yeah. They're really good.
They are some great custards. Try the other stuff. The moonshine. Interesting one. Well worth it, though. Well worth it. So well done, Stevie. Hopefully Jasper will leave the postman alone long enough to allow the package to come through the door.
And everybody that's took part, thank you very much as well. And thank you for supporting the channel.
Really appreciate it.
Really do.
Right, boys. Are we braced?
Give us your best shot, Money Penny.
Fair point, OG. Fair point. If you are used to a sweeter juice, it does seem a little weird at first, but it's well worth it.
It's well worth it. Trust me. It really is. It's good flavour, not too sweet, and they're fantastic on your coils.
Yeah. And one thing I will say, if you find you're maybe not getting the flavour that you were expecting, just give it a bit of a steep.
Yeah.
Well worth it. Really is. Treat it like you would your good lady. Bit of care and attention, and you'll get the best.
I just want to give Project Vapes a big shout and say thank you very much for doing the giveaway for you guys.
I'd rather sit and throw popcorn at BFG on my iPad than run to the cinema. I'd rather you did that, Kev. I don't get hit by popcorn then. Farmer's Daughter is a nice juice, I say. Right, boys, brace yourself. Snowflake incoming. I don't know if everybody saw this. It has gained some quite surprising column length in the press in the UK, and I know it's gained some in America. Time magazine, I believe, have run with this. They want to censor and change the content of Ian Fleming books. The James Bond series is not safe from the great wave of cancel culture. What they are doing is sending the books prior to them being re-released for the anniversary to sensitive readers. And by all accounts, what a cock-up they've made of it. So where they have removed the N-word, which may cause great offence to minorities and whatever it is these days, it's politically correct to refer to other groups as, or Afro-Americans as. They've got rid of that. They've got rid of some of the misogynistic... Yeah, I can't believe that either, Ben. Some of the misogynistic references. What they've kept in is some of the rape scenes, some of the... it just doesn't make any sense. They've done the same with Roald Dahl. There's been a recent push to try and reword some of Roald Dahl's works for the use of the word fat and stupid.
I think that was a publicity stunt.
Well, that's what I think this James Bond is. This is a published... I don't think this has got anything to do with trying not to offend people. And I'm going to go on to that in a minute. I think this is more about trying to extend the longevity of the franchise. To try and bring it into the sensitivities of the 21st century. There is a very good reason for me saying this, and I'm about to give my evidence. So, jury, if you would like to take a seat. What you are doing, if you change the wording of the James Bond, you are losing a historical snapshot. These were written by a man who took an active part in World War II. He fought against the big foe. Yeah? He didn't have what he considered a very exciting part in World War II, although it was, when you look back on it, it was bloody amazing what he actually put in with. But James Bond was a fantasy character. It was written from the perspective and views of somebody with a very, very affluent and privileged background. Yeah? And it reflected the best part of the early 20th century. This is when he grew up. So the reference to the British Empire that he makes in You Only Live Twice, that was actually apparently based on a conversation that he had with the Japanese journalist. And the views of Tiger in You Only Live Twice about the British giving away the empire with both hands and they would regret it was virtually a direct quote lifted from this Japanese journalist. And that's a snapshot of the history of the time.
Can I just add something? A few months back, we talked about James Bond. And I turned round then and said, the problem with James Bond now is they're trying to make it for a modern audience, where James Bond was set in the Cold War. Yeah. And it should have stayed in the Cold War, in that era, and stayed there, not try and modernise it like they have done. And I think a lot of people only have ever watched the films. and don't know the actual true history of Ian Fleming and the relationship with James Bond and the books.
There is a lot of Fleming in the Bond character.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of Fleming. And there's a lot of understanding of how it worked. You know, I mean, as Bill said, he was a spy. And he was a spy, you know. OG's just said we love Bond in America. And I think that's the case worldwide. It's escapism. Nobody takes it as a guide for the young man of today. You know, he came out with some of the crap he came out with, didn't you? Get your face beaten black. And we're well aware of that. I mean,
it seemed like with Roald Dahl, though, when Roald Dahl wrote his books, it was a different time.
It was. And this is what I'm saying. If we whitewash it, and where is it? Russ has put it, if you change the past, how can you learn from it?
Exactly.
100%. I'm going to quote you now from 1984, George Orwell. And what the party did was they sanitized everything. And it became so whitewashed, people ignored it. And this is, I'm going to put it out there. This is probably going to cause some comments, but that's what we're doing now. We're whitewashing everything. We're taking the horror, the injustice, just the downright wrongness out of things. You know,
I heard on the radio today that they're on about banning Zulu, the film.
I know that's not the most factual reaccountment of Rorke's Drift, but as somebody who's got a family member involved in that, I'm a bit pissed about that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're on about not editing it, they're on about banning it.
Well, as Dawn W's just said, they're going to rewrite the Bible then. Because if you look at the Bible, there's infanticide, there's sodomy, there's
incest.
Jesus. Incest, yeah. Noah and his two daughters. There's vengeance. There's some of the most evil curses you've ever heard in your life in the Bible.
There's a lot of smiting going on.
Yeah, a lot of smiting.
Smite me, O mighty smiter.
See, the thing is, though, I don't know whether it's just me or what. That Roald Dahl thing. It came out that they was going to edit it and they can't use the word fat or weird and all sorts, and that they were changing all sorts. And then 3 days later, Penguin turned around and said, yes, we're going to be actually releasing it in its normal form and an edited version.
As the classic.
Yeah. And it's sort of like, yeah, is this just a publicity stunt to sell more books? So like, oh shit, we better get the original books before they come off the shelf and we've got the tame version of James Bond.
100%.
Yeah, I'm looking at it from another point of view, right? How many public libraries are still on the go these days?
They're fading fast.
If this is what's going to happen with the cancel culture, and you've got these public libraries that are few and far between these days because they don't get the government funding as they used to. I mean, because I know that the one up the road from us, they were looking for people to basically donate books and things like that. Now, these libraries aren't going to survive because the local councils are not going to say, well, wait a wee minute, you need to take 25% of your books off those shelves, but we're not giving you the 25 books, the snowflake rewrites to replace them. What's the point? They'll shut them down, which is wrong. Because there's a lot of people still, as far as I'm concerned, there's still a lot of people who use libraries.
There is, I mean, this is another, I think, I'm going to throw this one at OG. When I was reading into this Ian Fleming and stuff, what I did see in some states in America, they were actually banning the Bible. Really? Some of the libraries have actually banned it, or it's on the list of books that shouldn't be stocked. And I was stunned by that because, you know, you think it's called the Bible Belt for a reason, you know, the Midwest and all the rest of it. How's that work? I was absolutely stunned. So, if anybody's got any info on that, I would be
Well,
really interested in that.
think about it. A certain Austrian dictator tried that in the
Oh, so
40s.
Gary Lineker tried to point that one out about something recently. Look what happened to him. It's, I hate to say it, George Orwell's suddenly starting to look more like Nostradamus than an author that was for pleasure.
Well, it's like a society manual instead of a science fiction novel. I mean, it's getting really scary at the moment with what's going off. But is it really happening?
Well, this is why I threw that out there to anybody that would be prepared to sort of.
Because let's face it, I mean,
that over in the States.
Us three know what it's like with the vaping industry when we've all come up with it, with your popcorn lungs and things like that, and they just keep on rehashing these stupid things. Is it a sensational thing that's going off? Is it because, right, prior to the internet, the only time you'd hear about anything like this was on the actual news on the television or read in a paper at probably page 7 or 8. Whereas now it's instant, it's there, it's in your face straight away. It's spread across different social media platforms straight away. And obviously we all, wow.
But this is the thing, because it is instant, you need so much more of it. And if you need so much more of it, how much of this is people slipping in opinion as fact? And this is what scares me, because that's how whitewashing works. You sink the seed and then suddenly it becomes a thing.
To be honest with you,
momentum.
I'm not being crazy, and I'm definitely not tinfoil that person, but I think people are being brainwashed. I really do.
Graham, I don't think it's just one direction. I think it spreads on both. That's the worrying thing. Somebody once said that the best way to beat any enemy is to split it down the middle.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, what they're doing is, look at this hand, look at this hand. Yeah. You don't know what this other hand's doing, do you?
We do.
Stop it. Well, there you go, Bill. I mean, I agree with that. Don't people like being told what to do?
To be honest with you, yes, I do. I generally do think the mass populace do like being told what to do. And told how to think. And told what to wear.
Because when it goes wrong, you've got somebody to sue. That's the thing. All right, Stuart.
I don't want to be a sheep.
I don't. When we,
but I think we're too old in the head now.
We're set in our ways, aren't we?
To be led like that. Do you know what I mean? And we're old and cynical. And I think people like us of a certain age will not fall into that category.
Yeah,
I think that's Christ Almighty. Look what we grew up with in the 80s, through the 70s, through the 80s, and from then to now, you wouldn't fucking think that we're living still in the same age, because everything's fucking changed completely, and it's went drastic.
I think this is the thing. The people that are getting offended by everything, and it is that generation.
I mean, the thing is,
they've not been through it.
No, but we had one person in the UK, sure. I mean, we had fucking Mary Whitehouse, remember? She was offended by every fucking thing. But now it's not just one person now. It seems to be a whole bloody army of people.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the slightest little thing. Somebody's I don't like that. You fuck my feelings. Fuck off then. Don't listen, don't watch, don't read it, whatever.
Well, that's my opinion on this rewriting of the books. If you don't agree with the content, don't buy the bloody thing. You know, when you look at what we grew up with in the 70s and the 80s, Racism wasn't a thing. It was an attitude, and it was an acceptable attitude at the time. Now it's not, and we know it's not. It's ridiculous. Quite a few people didn't agree with it at the time, and that's where the anti-apartheid movement came from, the Rock Against Racism. And we knew it was wrong, and we did something about it. We didn't sit there and go, "I'm offended."
Do you want me to tell you who was one of the most oppressed peoples on the planet?
Now or then?
Who was?
Go on.
Us. Scots.
Scots. Yeah.
You get fucked over at every given opportunity, but I'm not going to say English rulers because it was fucking your Saxons and Normans and all those wankers. But we were fucked left, right, and centre.
Well, not so long ago. I mean, you're only talking, 1950s, 1960s. It was quite common to see signs up, next to the job, help wanted signs. No Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking bang out of order.
Yeah. Ironically, you should be talking about that, Betty, because I was reading. I put a post up on the Facebook group about where the North is. And when you actually go to the website, the history website, it was really interesting. And from roughly about where we live in South Yorkshire, all the way up to your end, it was called the desert. Back in, I think it was something like 86 AD. And basically, they salted the land so you couldn't grow up.
Sounds about right. 86, I don't know. So that's around the Roman.
Yeah, it's round that end. Yeah, they actually salted the land so you couldn't grow anything on it.
Yeah, you're right. One of the Irish got screwed over as well.
Oh, God, the Irish have always been screwed over.
Well, the Celts in general got screwed.
Oh, blooming heck, aye. I mean, that's going into...
we the Highland clearances up here. The English gentry just come up and says to the crofters, "Fuck off." That's why there's a vast majority of Scots ancestors in the likes of Canada, east coast of America, because they were basically shipped on boats and fucked off.
And Joey, I'm gonna
English people
disagree with
most
that.
of the world, yeah, but they've fucked it up as well. To be honest with you, mate.
I would also say that the Chinese had a lot to do with it. The Italians had a huge amount. The Europeans,
Spanish or Portuguese. Look what they did in South America. Look at the cultures they wiped out in South America. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we the human race have got a history that you can't stand up and go, yeah, we're fab.
Yeah,
and white Europeans basically wiped out the Native Americans and fucking.
US. God, yeah. I mean, they killed the. It's not buffaloes. What are they? The bison.
Yeah.
They killed off the thousands and thousands of bisons to starve them. But, and this is the little but, and it's a little caveat. If we didn't know about all what went off, we wouldn't learn from it. We wouldn't have the society that we have got now.
You learn from your mistakes. It's what we teach our children.
And I do think that I'm not saying that we've got the moral high ground or anything like that, but I would say that we are more, in this day and age, we are more understanding of our fellow man than any time in history.
Yeah.
And that includes people from other sexes, to including sexual preferences. We are more understanding and more incorporating nowadays than we've ever been.
But the caveat I would say to that is...
Caviar.
No, the caveat is we may be becoming more accepting of it, etc. The thing that's causing the grief is when you're ramming it down other people's throats. The one thing we haven't become is more understanding that the guy next to me's viewpoint is just as important as mine. And the one in front of me is just as important as mine. Just because I think that and he thinks something else You don't try and overwrite what he's thinking. You listen.
See, the problem with us is human nature, and I'm gonna say human nature. It's a bit like Terminator. Terminator 2. We're gonna kill each other. We're gonna make ourselves extinct. We were.
Yeah.
We were destined to do it. Because let's face it don't matter what controversy goes off in the world, especially in the West. We can't say in other countries, but especially in the West, we are a gnat's cock away from pitchforks and burn them at the stake.
Yep.
We are literally that minute away from that kind of thing, and it's stupid, absolutely crazy.
Agree with you 100% on that one, Joey. Stupidity is the downfall of humanity.
It is. We are. Let's face it. We are the most stupidest animal out there.
The other point is, and this was raised. This was a very interesting debate I saw. We are reaching the point where the historic people in power, who have always relied on a class system and compliance by the majority, no longer have that. Because they don't have the control of the information. Yeah. Whereas previously, what happened? If you were a landed gentry, or you were rich, or you were royalty, or whatever, you could read, you could write.
Well, that's why the Catholic Church didn't want the Bible translating into English.
Yeah, so the common
That's
guy
why
didn't
Henry VIII
understand it.
Created. It
Church
wasn't
of
just
England.
because he wanted a divorce.
Yeah. So we're reaching that watershed point where that's no longer gonna wash. I think we reached it probably a long time ago. But have you noticed how, as information's become more free, it's very obvious about media, about outlets, about who's controlling who knows what. Yeah?
Do you think it's a case of dumbing down?
100%. Thinking people are dangerous. Because they might have a good idea.
Or do you think it's a case of, as you say, dumbing it down, Mark, because people or the younger generations don't have the common sense to take shit in. That's why it's been dumbed down.
I think
there's a cure for that.
From my experience, it's only a tiny little experience of the world. I only know a little bit. But from what I can see, it is a dumbing down, and they seem to accept what's dished out to them via media, by whatever means.
TikTok, Facebook.
Yeah, it's sort of like, this is how the world is, and there's no inquisitive, because when someone's giving me facts, it's sort of like, okay, yeah, I'm interested in this XYZ subject. I won't just take your point of view of it. I will look and read up about it and find out. They're not. They're quite happy to. That's the information. That's it. Done.
Well, if you want an example of that, the anti-vape in the States, where they were using, you got the Mothers Against Vaping groups and things like that. That was purely going in on an emotional level. But there was stuff being served up as fact. Now, we knew it wasn't right. Joe Public doesn't.
No, because general person that doesn't vape or doesn't smoke and that lot, they only read the headlines.
Russ, I would agree with that 100%. The best teacher I ever had turned round one day in class and he went, I can teach you it. It's great. But you're taking it on trust that I'm teaching you the right stuff. And he was the guy that was the long-haired weirdy that was go out there and think for yourself. He was the best teacher I ever had. He was brilliant. He gave you it as it was, the facts, and then it was up to you to go out and find some more. Brilliant bloke.
What started make me question things at a very early age, it started with me at school. We were learning about dinosaurs.
Mm.
And they basically turned around and told me what a dinosaur looked like, how it
was a lizard.
sounded,
Yeah.
and then they told me about how it got extinct. I'm now 52, and I still know for a fact they don't know what one single dinosaur looked like.
Yep. And
Yeah,
birds are descended from.
Yeah, but then wait a wee minute. When we were at school, I don't know if they still do it now. You used to get your history, obviously starting the world, dinosaurs, blah blah blah, man evolved, this, that, and the next time we came out to see wee fishes and all that shit, whatever. And then when you went from history class, you went to religious studies.
Mm.
And religious studies didn't tell you that. Religious studies told you that fucking God created the world and man started from Adam and Eve. And you're like, who do I believe? Science.
But also, I mean, you've got to remember
science or mythology, because that's what it fucking is.
But that's my point. Go out and think about it.
What I'm trying to get at the point is, a lot of the science fact that they are saying is fact is not.
Fiction.
It's a theory.
Mm.
And when people start realizing that, oh, this isn't actually fact, this is just a theory. Big Bang Theory. It is a theory. It is not fact. And it's not fact. It is a theory. It's based on mathematical equations that are pretty good, but they're not fact.
But there is also the background radiation wave, which you can now see because of technological advances.
Yeah,
which
but you can't see dark matter.
No, but
and they can't work out where that is, and they can't work out how much.
That's the theory. That is definitely
the whole lot is a theory. Yeah. Black holes were only a theory up until about 20 years ago.
And then the guy in the wheelchair told us about them.
no, they actually found them.
Well, yeah. Well, there's one at the centre of our galaxy.
A black hole was only a theory. A wormhole is only a theory.
Mm-hmm. Coyle, good evening, sir.
Hello, Coyle.
By God, this one's went heated quickly.
But that's the problem, isn't it, though? People are given information based on theory.
Yeah.
It's not based on actual fact. Because
well,
we don't bloody know.
Yeah, you can't prove
And that's where you can see where religion came from.
Mm.
Because they'll be sat round a campfire and someone, how does this work? And the other person didn't know, but didn't want to come across an idiot. Well, my imaginary friend.
If you take this jug of water and these 5 loaves and 10 fish,
you've got a takeaway.
And let's face it, if you start going into the religious side of things, which if you've got a religion, then I'm fine with that. Hang on. Bear with me. I'm not being rude, and I would never diss anybody's religion whatsoever. Not at all. But when you go into the religion side of it, the Bible, half the stories that are written in the Bible are about 300 odd years old. Okay? So bear with me with that.
Mm-hmm.
Has everybody heard of Chinese whispers?
Oh, yeah.
So, not only have you got Chinese whispers in a story that's been told, so you've got 200 years, 100 years, whatever it is, from the actual thing happening to the Chinese whispers of somebody writing it down. Then you've got people writing it down, and then you've got other people translating it, and not all words are the same. Not all words
100%.
change and don't mean the same. So it's even further that the actual story that you're reading now, that you are taught in school, could be 1,000,000 miles away from the original story that really happened.
100%. And the flood in the it's Gilgamesh. It was the Anunnaki.
I mean, we already know that the Bible alone has got tons of stuff missing out of it because they took it out.
Well, it's also got tons of stuff that's borrowed from previous religions that the oral history has brought in. So
I mean, don't get me wrong. Please, I beg of you, I am not dissing anybody's religion at all, but I'm trying to explain how what a factual thing that happened to how a story that we're reading now can change that much.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm really worried about this hip pumping thing that Coil's doing.
What?
I'm well. New hip pumping, everything in sight. Now I'm active again. Coil, it sounds like you need some Lucozade, mate. Chariots of the Gods, best book. Yeah, I must admit.
Yeah, Chariots of the God really is good.
Interesting.
But then again, a lot of that was Von Daniken's theory.
100%, but at least he stood up and said, this is my idea. He didn't say it was factual. He said, it's a theory, and here's the evidence to prove it.
I mean, there's a lot of programs on the likes of Amazon Prime. You know, Ancient Aliens and things like that.
Oh,
that
God,
guy,
yeah, there's loads of that.
That guy with a weird haircut.
No, because he does think aliens literally are responsible for everything. But it does raise a lot of interesting questions. And I don't see it as that's factual because it's on the telly. I see it as that's a bloody good point. Where do I find out about this?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, Chariots of the Gods, and then it was Gold of the Gods, I think it was that next one? I can't remember now. But when you actually look at some of the pictures that was in those books, and you say to yourself, how the fucking hell did they get those fucking rocks or blocks that size? You know, and some of these walls, and the cuts on them were fucking virtually perfect.
Can I just slightly change my comment to Coil? Not only does he need Lucozade, I think he needs a packet of 3 as well. Good on you, lad. Been waiting a year on a new hip. For a year, couldn't walk, let alone jump Tinder dates. Now I have a new hip and I'm banging chin again. Good lad. That's excellent.
Nice one.
No, Lucasade's just as good.
Lucozade doesn't stop you from rolling over in bed, though.
That's the benefit.
Or peeing in your shoes.
Yeah, but it stops you getting anything in your eye. Oh, chicks, not chins, sorry. I don't know, mate. I'd leave it as chin. That was quite funny.
Whatever floats your boat.
Thank you, Coil. That was brilliant.
Oh, looks like we've got snow again.
Yeah, I think we're snowing.
No, we're raining.
Are we raining?
We're raining.
Right, guys. It's 1:15. Are we about done?
Yeah, that
we're
that
late.
Was, wow. That's all I can say. That went from 3 little topics that we had to. Oof.
Yeah.
That was a Big Bang Theory. That.
Hold on, Coil. We're filthy. We're not banging chins.
Ball bang your ball. Hey, what?
What?
Is that the ball chinians?
Ball bang their chins. You lot are filthy, as if we are.
Never been known. Anywho.
Yeah, we can lower the tone, yeah.
Coil, that was us behaving, mate.
You can see us when we're on a roll.
Oh no.
Censored.
Bill, you're not kidding, mate. I don't know where that's gone. I really don't. Thank you so much for joining us, especially the new names that we saw in and those from over the States. Yeah, pretty tame show. It was for us.
It was,
Thanks,
yeah.
Joey.
Yeah, pretty tame.
You're causing me to say this shit.
Yeah, but thank everybody. Thanks for joining us, and for our friends across the pond. Thanks for dropping in. Hope you come back same time next week.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's nice to meet people.
Yeah, nice to see new people coming in. Don't be strangers, please. Come into chat, say hi, whatever. But we do have a Facebook group in that as well. Come and say hello into that too. And if there's any subjects that you want us to talk about or touch on, please give us your suggestions. But you're more than welcome. So yeah, that's all from me. Hope to see you all next week. Stephen Mark, I don't know where the hell that one went, but that was good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was that was an interesting show,
That
to say the
was.
least. So yeah, so come and join us next week, guys, for more of the same, and hopefully we'll get maybe another little debate going, because that was yes, that was good. My memory juices flowing. So hand the reins over to Stephen.
Indeed. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. You didn't have to, and you did, and we really appreciate it. Like I said, the new names in chat, guys, please join us again if you enjoyed what you saw. I appreciate the giveaways, a bit of a vapey one, and I believe, just a little spoiler, not much of a spoiler, I think we may have more vapey stuff next week for you. So there we go. But dilly-gaffing euphoric recall mode. It's better than last week where it was the turtle head. But thoroughly enjoyed it tonight, guys. Been really interesting to see your opinions on some of this. It's been brilliant. And it's nice to see there's still some thinking people out there.
It is.
Steve, we're a dying breed.
It's scary, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if you were a dying breed. There's plenty of people that are thinking in chat.
There is.
No, I'm talking about chat as well. I mean, I'm talking about our kind of age group. We're a dying breed.
Yeah, we are, unfortunately, but hey.
Just a quick one. Got to remember when we were growing up and kids and that, going through our tape, we didn't have Google and shit that we could rely on, so we took everything as fucking gospel. If you didn't know it, you found it out for your bloody self. You didn't need to go on your phone and go, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know something? I saw a post on Facebook, and it's so like kind of choked me up. It was a picture of a load of kids. And it turned around and it said, one day in your past was the last time you and your mates went out to play, and you never realised it. And I thought, oh!
100%, mate.
Yeah,
100%.
it was so like, yeah.
Bill, I'm sure it'll go absolutely fine, mate. And we've got fingers crossed for you. Yeah? Appreciate you a bit nervous, and I've got plenty of people I know that too right, Uggles. Plenty of people I know who've had it done. Never pleasant, but normally successful, which is something to look forward to, mate. So take care, mate. Let us know how you are next week.
Yes, definitely. Keep us posted.
If you could, we'd really love it. Even if it's just a quick message on Facebook, mate. But sending you lots of love. Can't get past Mark posting about Bestie's ass.
Don't know what you mean.
I was as Mars, Betty's arse.
Yeah, I know.
Well, at least this week I don't need to worry about it fucking trying to sign its autograph from undercrackers.
Yeah, Coily, we're going to go out and play army.
Right, on that note.
I shot you, and you didn't.
You're dead. You're dead.
You missed me. No, I didn't. I even threw a hand grenade. No, you didn't. Fucking Molotov cocktail over the hedge. You're dead now, you bastard.
On that note, I shall hand you over to the gaffer.
Guys, thank you so much. Betty, BFG, thank you for a fantastic show. It's been absolutely brilliant. Guys in chat, thank you so much. Spanners, we love you. I don't know why I look over here, because that's where chat is. Thank you so much. I want to give a big shout to Project Vapes and Johnny's Juice for doing the giveaway. People that have come from the States. It has been absolutely fantastic you seeing us. Hope you liked our little bit of English and Scottish camaraderie. Yes, we'll go for camaraderie.
North of the British Isles camaraderie. And I do apologise if you don't understand the word I'm saying. Next week I'll have subtitles.
Stop it.
Want to give you all a big love and say thank you very much. Have a fantastic weekend and have a safe week, and we'll see you back here again 7:30 on Thursday, which next Thursday, I've got this to show you. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Scary thing is, I can read your bloody home.
You can from there, says. You can see me wattage. So yeah, I'm doing it, I wouldn't say a review, but I'm going to give you my opinions on this device.
I told you those jeans were too tight.
So from myself, Betty and BFG, we wish you a good night and we'll see you all next week. So
Indeed we shall. Huggles!
Huggles and bye, and stay safe in this terrible snowfall
Yes.
that we're having. And I hope you've all stocked up on bread, milk, and toilet paper.
Now we've still got stuff from yesterday. Say mod quick mark, apparently. From Kev.
Geek Vape Z200.
There we are. The Z200, Kev.
The Braille version.